In this video, I'm going to tell you about how anxiety gave me superpowers. So the title says it all. Anxiety gave me superpowers. And what I mean by that is it gave me actual superpowers. No, I don't shoot lightning out of my hand. When my anxiety began, it was really hard to see any upside or any positive things about it because, of course, there's no positive things about it. My anxiety was disabling and crippling. It kept me from sleeping and eating and having fun and going places and enjoying the time with my family. But as you learn to live with your anxiety, and the longer you live with your anxiety, you start to notice specific things. And talking to counselors or therapists or whatever else, they'll tell you. Everyone always tells you to look on the bright side, find the silver lining. What's positive? I became very hyper aware. And this is something that is really common with people who deal with even low levels of anxiety, but really high levels of anxiety tend to make you very hyper aware of situations, of yourself, your heartbeat, breathing, smells, sights, sound, everything. Everything is just, it's hard to take in. And it's almost like a sensory overload. Um, but as you learn more about going through all of that and you learn to kind of hone in on it or whatever else, it really becomes a superpower because you are always so hyper aware of everything that you see things and notice things that other people don't. We have gut instincts that immediately we know, like, nope, this isn't right. I don't know why, but it's not. And I'll tell you right now, I have never had my gut lie to me. Never once has my gut, or have I got this gut feeling where I need to leave someplace, not be a part of something, or any of this stuff. I always listen to it, first of all, and it's never, ever steered me wrong. So that's superpower one, right? The hyper awareness, the gut instinct. It's like a spidey sense. It just tells you like something's not right. Something's not right. You got to get out. Do it now. This is number two. The second superpower it gives you is empathy. Not sympathy, but actual empathy. You are much more aware. I am much more able to put myself in somebody's shoes to kind of feel their pain. Or when I am talking to somebody and they're, that if they're talking about their depression or their anxiety, their struggles, or anything, anything that's happening in their mind that's hard for them to deal with, I can be there because I've been there. So it's really, really easy for me to like see that, feel that, and just just be supportive. Know what they need to hear, know how to maybe connect with them on that level. And empathy is something that a lot of people don't have. Like sympathy is something that is very easy to have because you can say, "Oh yeah, I feel bad for them. That must suck." Empathy is a little bit different. Empathy is I understand because I've been there. I've been through that. They know that struggle. They know that battle. So it's so rare now that I feel that it is a superpower. It's like common sense. Nobody has it, but everybody can sympathize with somebody, but can they really empathize with you and know what the struggle is, know what the pain is, and if they haven't been there specifically, can they put themselves in your shoes? Can they do that? Put themselves in your shoes and just kind of see your struggle and what you're going through, right? Superpower number three, I think, and it's hard to put this into words, it's hard to kind of phrase this, but my perception of the world has changed so much where I kind of have to look at things through a very kind of rose-colored lens where I have to find the positive in everything because there's so much negative when you deal with depression and anxiety that if you don't find the positive and you don't focus on that and make that your focal point, it's very easy to kind of drown in the anxiety and drown in these feelings that come along with it. So the perception factor, I force myself. I just see it now. And I've done it for so long that you tell yourself something's going to be hard or you're losing something or situations are changing and things that are out of your control, but you have to find a silver lining in there. You have to find the positive note on it and focus on that because as people, we always tend to focus on the negative. It's so much easier to focus on the negative things that happen to us than it is the positive things. If you think about, family members or even relationships in your past that you've had, whether they were, friends or romantic, whatever else, a lot of times some of the first things that come to mind, especially when you're talking about past relationships, are all the negative things. Even if there was only a few of them, you think about those. And you could think about a friend who's been a lifelong friend. And the first thing that'll pop into your mind if you don't talk to them anymore is usually something negative. It's usually why you quit talking to them or any of these other things. It's our first reaction to anything is we really tend to soak in the negativity and we just let it kind of take us over, and it's really hard not to do that. But when you deal with so many different variables in your life that take so much control away from you, you have to focus on the positivity. You have to focus on the few things, or the few things that actually make a difference in a positive manner. For me, when my anxiety got to a point where I couldn't leave my house and I couldn't drive and I literally, not figuratively, I literally could barely walk out my front door. Literally. When it got that bad, it was really hard to focus on positive things. But the things I did try to focus on was the relationships I had with my friends online, the people I played video games with. Okay, now I have a lot of time. I can write more music, right? I can focus more on music because I'm not leaving. None of this stuff is happening. I can focus on music. I can focus on my friends. I can write more. I can pick up hobbies that I never had time for because I have to do something to keep myself busy, right? So years and years of having so much negative and so much that you can dwell on that's negative kind of forces you to look at the world in a different way. And you look at it in such a positive way sometimes that it's sometimes a little dangerous because we could be going through bad things. We'll be like, it'll be all right. We're broke and we're like, it's just money. It's fine. But it really does change, at least for me anyways. This is one thing it gave me. It changed the way I perceived the world, and it made me see the positive things. And not just some of the positive things, almost all of the positive things. Number 4, superpower number 4, and this is a huge one, is gratitude. Actual gratitude. Being so grateful for the little things in life that you do have that a lot of people seem to take for granted. So, and it's not their fault. It's just what happens. It's what we do. We take everything for granted. It's what we do as people. But when you have everything stripped away from you, when you have everything taken away from you, that's when you really start to realize what's important, what you should be grateful for, what you should be doing, and where you should be focusing your energy in life. I, without a doubt, would not be where I am or who I am if it wasn't for my anxiety. I think I would be a much harsher, much colder, much just, I think there's a lot of negative things about me that would be amplified without the struggle that I go through with my anxiety. I think it would amplify the bad, whereas the anxiety, it is kind of forcing out the good, right? So forcing it out of me, not getting rid of it, but just it's got to come out. Gratitude is something that's so important because for us, sometimes we can't do very simple things that most people don't even think about. People don't think about going to the store. Oh, gotta go shopping, so they go to the store. They don't think about going to the mall or visiting friends or visiting family or checking the mail or sending something off to the mail. If they're hungry, they go to get something to eat, So much of that we can't do. Sitting down to eat, sitting down and visiting at somebody else's house, going places, going in stores. So much of that stuff is so hard for us to do and so easy for other people that of course they take it for granted because they don't ever think it's going to be hard for them to drive to the store. They don't think it's going to be like a thing for them to, what do you mean? I'll just get in my car and drive, But for us, we are so grateful when we do get to do those things that actual real gratitude is something that I feel like, along with the spidey sense, along with the empathy, along with the perception changing, all of it packages into something that can really change your core being for the better, right? And I know that on the other side of this fight, on the end of this, at the end of this fight, when we are better and healthy and we are doing all of these amazing things, all of these values and these lessons are going to stick with us. So these are the positive things that anxiety has given me, right? We're not going to focus on the negative stuff. These are the positive things that it's given me. So to wrap it up, number one is empathy, and that's important. Number two is that gut instinct, that spidey sense, and it's very real, trust me. Number three is the perception of the world. My perception of the world has been changed drastically and for the better, right? And number four is gratitude. And gratitude kind of brings it all together. So that's what anxiety has given me, not taken away from me. That's the positives in my life, right? So I want you to comment down below. I want you to tell me something that anxiety or depression has given you, not what it's taken away. Don't focus on that. I want to hear from you. What has anxiety given you? Guys, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.